8-2, equations with two variables. Okay, today we're going to solve equations for y in terms of x, complete the table, and graph. So we're doing a lot today. The main thing you need to focus on is that we're trying to get y by itself to start off with. So going back to chapter 2, what is being done to the y variable in this case? We do have two variables. We have an x and a y, but we're focusing on just the y for right now. So what's being done to it? This is kind of a tricky one. You're adding 3x. Don't look at what's behind the 3x. Look at what's in front of it. There's nothing in front of it, so that means it's a positive or a plus. And then we're subtracting y, which we'll get to in a moment. So get rid of that 3x because we want to get y by itself. So how do you get rid of a positive 3x? You subtract 3x from both sides. Well, a 3x and a minus 3x cancel out, and that leaves us negative y. And then we have 15 and a minus 3x. Those are not like terms. Those are hamburgers and french fries, apples and oranges, two different things. So we're going to just leave them separate from each other. And usually good math grammar is you put the term with the variable in front. So we're going to say that as negative 3x plus 15. You could write it as 15 minus 3x, but we want to do good math grammar here. So put the term with the variable in front. Now we have a negative y. How can we get rid of that minus sign? One thing that might help you is think of how many y's do you have sitting there? Well, I really have a negative 1y. So when you have a number in front of a variable, you're multiplying, or they're multiplying. So what do we do if they're multiplying by negative 1? We do the opposite, which is divide both sides by negative 1. Those two negative 1s are going to cancel each other out, and a negative 3 divided by negative 1 is a positive 3. A positive 15 divided by a negative 1 is a negative 15. We now have our y all by itself, so we're now ready to go and plug that into our table. So then we take each of those numbers, and these are going to be different than what's on your guided notes, I apologize. So go with what I have here, not what's on your guided notes. So we plug in 7, and 3 times 7 is 21, minus 15 is 6. So our coordinates for our ordered pair for the first terms would be 7, 6. If we plug in 5, what would we get? So hopefully you did 3 times 5 is 15, minus 15 is 0. So we get 5, 0. Now we're going to plug in 4. So what do we get when we plug in 4? That's going to bring us into the negative range. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 15. We're going to owe somebody something, so we got negative 3 there. Next we're going to plug in 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 15 is negative 6. So our ordered pair would be 3, negative 6. Now we graph. 7, 6. Remember the first number tells you to go left or right. Second number is up or down. So we go 3 to the right and up 6. 5, 0 means we go 5 to the right and we don't go up or down. 4, negative 3 means 4 to the right, down 3. 3, negative 6, over 3, down 6. Then we're going to draw our line through it. Please, please make sure that you put the line all the way through. Notice how mine has arrows at the top and the bottom. We really want, it's not a line segment, so don't have it stop at one dot, at the top dot and at the bottom dot. It goes through those and past. Number 2, solve the equation for, well, same thing, sorry. So what are they doing to the y here again? They're adding 6 and multiplying by a negative 3. Get rid of that plus 6, so subtract 6x. That'll leave us negative 3y on the left side. And on the right side, we have negative 6x minus 18. Again, we like to put the variable term in front. They're multiplying y by negative 3, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. And that'll give us y. And I like to kind of break this up, so I'm going to break up that in the right side into two chunks, and I've got negative 6x divided by 3 minus 18 divided by negative 3. Well, negative 6 divided by negative 3 is going to be a positive 2. 18 divided by negative 3 is going to be a negative 6. Now, if you got minusing a negative, remember you can simplify that and make it a little easier on yourself, and you'll get y is equal to 2x plus 6. Plug that into our table, and please take a moment and plug in negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1 into the problem, into the equation, and see what you get for each one. So pause the video and come back and see if you got the right stuff, right answers. All right, so we've got 2 times negative 2, that's a negative 4, plus 6. Signs are different, so they're going to cancel each other out and leave a positive 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, plus 6 is going to be positive 4. So we get negative 1, 4. 2 times 0 plus 6. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 6 is 6. And then 2 times 1 is 2, plus 6 gives us 8. And there's our ordered pairs. Time to graph. So 2 to the left, up 2. 1 to the left, up 4. Don't go left or right, but go up 6. 1 to the right, up 8. Draw your line from the very top of your graph through your points to the very bottom of your graph, putting arrows at both ends. Next one, I'd like you to try to do as much of this one as you can. It's similar to problem number 1, so pause the video, see how much of it you can actually do. Okay, I subtract 2x. That leaves me negative y and negative 2x minus 4. We've got that negative. Remember, that's a negative 1y. So we can divide by negative 1. You actually also can multiply by negative 1 because it's a 1. But that's the only one that you can really get away with that with. That'll leave us y on the left side. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And a positive divided by a negative, so we get 2x minus negative 4. Subtraction, change it to addition, take the opposite of the second number. Table time. If you weren't able to do the equation, you should pause the video here to try to at least do the table. So we have 2 times 0 plus 4 is 4. 2 times 1 plus 4 is 6. 2 times 2 plus 4 is 8. 2 times negative 1 plus 4 is 2. Graph it. So we have 0, 4. Don't go left or right, but go up. 1, 6 means 1 to the right, up 6. 2, 8, 2 to the right, up 8. Negative 1, 2, 1 to the left, up 2. And you should always get a straight line. If you don't get a straight line, that means you've done something wrong. And that's the end.